Hi, my name is Janelle Jerestein, and I am the Bloom TV Star Florist for 2023. I've always just been in the garden growing up and have always loved flowers and had them around. I love having them in every room. They just bring so much joy and happiness. I have been a floral designer for 23 years since high school, and I just fell in love with it, fell in love with flowers and just the emotions that they bring in people. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but they just transform the space into something magical. So I live in Calgary. My floral studio is here, and I live with my husband Oscar and our dog Tally, who just turned 2. She's so cute. Oscar and I actually started the business in 2011 together. We do a lot of weddings in the mountains. We're about an hour and a half away from Banff National Park, Canmore, a few hours from Jasper. So we have the beautiful Rocky Mountains, and a lot of couples come from all over the world to get married here. I think people are just really attracted to nature. There's just something so serene and joyous about being in the mountains. And it's nice to just add that joy that flowers evoke. You know, the beauty of them opening and having something real that they can see and they can smell and they can touch, and they really just add a lot to the ambiance. Having done more than probably 600 weddings, it is still really exciting every wedding because my couples come to me for something different. I love using detail software for my proposals. It has helped me save so much time for my floral design business, and also it looks so beautiful. So like a cookbook, but for flowers. I love getting in the flowers. It's like Christmas Day. Anytime I get in flowers, and I've done this for many years, and it is always so exciting to get in flowers for an event because they just make you happy, and you open the box to see them and see how beautiful they are, and then you start thinking how great they're going to look in your design. So I've chosen to do a winter tablescape that cascades off the table because I think it's a really fun element that we don't get to see a lot. Roses are one of my top 3 favorite flowers, so it is full of roses, different shapes and sizes. I believe I've ordered over 15 varieties of roses from Rosaprima, and I think my favorite of all of them is Moab. It's just so beautiful. It's like a dusty pink champagne, and it just opens beautifully. It's almost like doubled in size. And then I'm using spray roses, garden roses, hybrid roses, and anemones. And I've chosen whites and ivories and like a dusty pink and some lavenders and some darker purples as well. I like challenging myself with new color palettes, and I'm also just attracted to them. First, what I'm going to do is get my containers, and I want to make this design as sustainable as possible. So I'm going to get some Holly Chapel eggs and pillows and then wrap them in chicken wire. And I just want to fill the planters well so that they hold the stems in place really, really nicely. And then I'm really excited because, of course, after it's greened, I can start adding in all of the flowers that we're going to be using. So there's a few different tricks for opening roses. So one is putting it upside down. I find it easier if you put the rose upside down so the stem is up, and then you just rub it between your hands so it twists and the petals just open. And then if that is not working so well, if the rose is even tighter, you can just gently use your finger and kind of open the petals, but be very careful because you could rip the petals. Also, blowing in the rose is good. If they're super tight, I recommend processing them into cutting the stems and putting them into warm water with flower food and even covering them with a bag. These roses didn't need that. They were already in great condition, quite open. Something that's really important to keep in mind when you're designing a tablescape or centerpiece is that there will be people sitting on all sides of the table. The design needs to look good from 360 degrees. And because this is a bigger design, I physically have to walk around the table and design from different angles. The arrangement looks really great in my studio, and now the challenge is to get it to the event space and then into the hotel ballroom. It's install day! The space that we're going to be in has been newly renovated, and so there are lighter colors, so it's going to go really well with the cool tones in the flowers that I've chosen. And so while designing, I'm trying to keep a balance of like the colors that we're using in the design, because there are some darker purples in it. So I'm grouping some of the lavenders together and some of the darker purples so it's not looking too polka dotty. So I'm about to create the cascade off the table, and you get to watch me do it. To see like a waterfall of flowers, I think that it's just more of a show-stopping piece. And I'm taking these 6-inch Holly Chapel pillows and I'm going to zip tie them to this frame and to each other. And then I have different heights so that there's some dimension. It's just nice for the eye to not see everything at the same plane. There's some flowers that are coming out more or angled downward, just so that each guest sitting at the table sees something interesting and beautiful. And the whole design is just very cohesive, and it shows luxury and it goes with the feel of the venue. And I really choose flowers too that are going to shine, and they're the stars of the event. We want our flowers to evoke joy and beauty in people, and for people to just gasp. The flowers, they've come from a tiny seed or a tuber, or and they've grown into this magnificent bloom that's just there to be enjoyed.